I'm inviting you to try this for just 7 days. By the time the 8th day arrives, your reality will begin to shift in ways you wouldn't even believe if I described them to you now. This one method is the missing key you've been searching for. It doesn't ask, it commands the universe's energy to align in your favor. Ancient mystics kept this knowledge hidden for centuries, and now quantum science is beginning to confirm its power. This is the most potent spiritual technique you will ever encounter, and it's nothing like what you might be imagining. Take a deep breath and allow yourself a moment of reflection. How many times have you tried to change your life? You've prayed, you've visualized, you've asked, yet it felt like nothing was truly happening. How often have you wondered why the universe seemed silent, while the hope inside you was screaming for a sign? Perhaps you thought it was a lack of faith or that you weren't ready, when in reality you simply hadn't been given the right code, the code that makes the universe say yes without a moment's hesitation. And here is the truth that very few dare to reveal. There is a technique that isn't based on repeating pretty words or mindless affirmations. It connects directly with the core of your subconscious mind, the same subconscious that Joseph Murphy taught was the true architect of your reality. When you finally understand how to communicate with this hidden part of yourself, something incredible occurs. You stop pleading like a beggar and start commanding like someone who knows they are the rightful heir to the promise. In response, life stops offering you crumbs and instead sends signals so clear they are impossible to ignore. But think about this with me. What if you've had this power all along, but never knew how to access it? What if everything you were told about struggle, hard work, and suffering was just a veil hiding the truth? The truth that there is a spiritual shortcut capable of making your energy vibrate with such intensity that the entire universe has no choice but to realign itself to serve you. This isn't a game of chance, it's a law as precise as gravity. The only difference is that very few people know how to activate it. Joseph Murphy used to say that the subconscious is like fertile ground. It will accept any seed you plant. The crucial question is, what seeds have you been planting? Fear, doubt, and scarcity? Or have they been seeds of confidence, abundance, and gratitude? Most people don't realize that even when they ask for something good, their hearts are drenched in the fear of not receiving it. It is precisely this fear, this energetic contradiction, that blocks every result. The technique you're about to discover eliminates this internal conflict. It realigns what you think, feel, and believe until your entire being emits a single, powerful signal. I already have it. And when that vibration becomes your consistent state, the universe has no other option but to respond in kind. Imagine for a moment waking up to find that the very thing that seemed impossible is now moving steadily toward you. Opportunities materializing without effort, the right people showing up at the perfect moment, unexpected solutions appearing as if by coincidence, except they aren't coincidences, they are answers. They are the universe's response to a spiritual command you issued with clarity, without any blockage or resistance. What if I told you that you could start this process today, simply by changing how you connect with your subconscious mind just before you fall asleep and right as you awaken? These are the moments when the mind is most receptive, like an open doorway between the visible and the invisible world. The secret lies in using the right words, charged with emotion and certainty, so that your deeper mind accepts them as undeniable truth. These aren't just affirmations. They are like planting decrees in the most fertile soil in existence, your own consciousness. But wait, because there's something even more profound. The final revelation in this video is the most powerful of all. It is the one thing that will make everything you've heard so far come to life in your actual experience. It doesn't matter if you've studied the law of attraction, quantum physics, or if you've never even heard of Joseph Murphy. What you are about to find out will surpass all your expectations, because this isn't theory, it's practical application. This is the technique that transforms a wish into a command, and a command into an inevitable manifestation. That's why I need you to stay with me until the very end. Not just out of curiosity, but because I know your life will not be the same after hearing this. Before we continue, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because I will be sharing content here that has the power to expand your consciousness and set you on the path to true abundance. And if you feel ready to dive even deeper and accelerate your transformation, I've left a special gift for you in the first pinned comment. This gift will help you apply what you learn here in a practical way and see results even faster. Now, prepare yourself. Every word you hear from this point on is a step toward a new understanding that could turn your life upside down in the most wonderful way. Because deep down, you know you are not here by chance. The universe has guided you to this very moment to hear exactly what you need to. And the final revelation, I promise, will be the key you have been searching for. Have you ever noticed how many people live on repeat, carrying a sense of emptiness in their chests, as if something is always missing? They wake up, work, pay bills, and deep inside they feel that life should be so much more than just survival. Perhaps you've felt that silent ache, that intuition telling you a greater force is ready to support you, but for some reason it hasn't shown up in the way you hoped. The truth is that force has always been available. The problem is that most people were never taught how to communicate with it correctly. It's like having a treasure buried in your own backyard, but never being given the map to find it. You could live your whole life believing you are poor when you've been sitting on the greatest wealth in the world the entire time. What I'm about to show you is that very map, the access key that will make the universe begin to work in your favor, clearly, directly, and powerfully. Joseph Murphy stated that the subconscious mind is the hidden engine behind all human experiences. It doesn't question, judge, or choose. It simply obeys the impressions you plant within it. It's like fertile soil. If you plant seeds of fear, it will grow fruits of fear. If you plant confidence, it will yield fruits of abundance. And this is precisely the great secret that so few grasp. It's not enough to ask. You must feel as if you already have it. That is the language of the subconscious. It doesn't understand the future or promises. It only comprehends the now. This is why so many requests seem to go unanswered. People ask for health while feeling the fear of illness. They ask for prosperity while vibrating with the anxiety of lack. They ask for love while carrying the pain of abandonment, and the subconscious, ever obedient, only reproduces what is being felt deep inside. The universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your vibration. Now, what if you could completely align your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs into a single point of focus? Imagine if instead of asking like someone who is begging, you declared it like someone who already possesses it. This shift is the core of the most powerful spiritual technique you will ever know. It's not about asking, it's about decreeing. It's not about wishing, it's about commanding the universe to manifest what is already yours by right. This technique begins in silence. That might sound strange because we've been taught that we need to make a lot of noise to be heard, but the universe responds to what is in your essence, not what comes out of your mouth. Silence, when filled with certainty, is more deafening than 1,000 words. It is in this state of inner stillness that you plant the most powerful seeds. Joseph Murphy spoke of the importance of the moments between sleep and wakefulness. Those instances, when you're not quite awake or just about to fall asleep, are like an open bridge to the subconscious. It is there that the technique reveals its maximum power. Instead of going to bed burdened with worries, you go to bed filled with decrees. Instead of waking up to problems, you awaken already infused with the certainty that everything is conspiring in your favor. But how does this work in practice? You must understand that the language of the subconscious is composed of images and emotions. Therefore, When you create a vivid mental scene saturated with feeling and repeat it in this transitional state between wakefulness and sleep, the subconscious accepts it as reality. And from that moment on, it begins to move heaven and earth to materialize what you have decreed. It's as if you are an actor performing a role. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. To it, everything is real. Now I want you to think of something you deeply desire. It could be financial prosperity, a fulfilling relationship, restored health, or anything else that is meaningful to you. Visualize it not as a distant wish, but as something already achieved. See the details, feel the emotion, immerse yourself in the experience. When your mind engages with this image as if it were present reality, your subconscious absorbs it and begins to project it into your physical world. This is the reason why so many people who have applied this principle report almost unbelievable results. It isn't magic, it is law. And here lies the difference between those who get fast results and those who spend years without seeing any change: emotional intensity. The universe responds to feeling, not just to thought. A thought is like lighting a candle, but a feeling is like starting a bonfire. The spiritual technique you are about to master is precisely this act of igniting your internal vibration until it becomes irresistible. It may sound too simple to be true, but what is simple is often the most powerful. The thing that blocks most people is the rational mind, which insists on doubting and asking, "How will this happen?" But you don't need to know how a seed will sprout to plant it. You just need to trust the process and water it consistently. The same principle applies here. Your job isn't to control the how, but to sustain the vibration of "it is already done." The rest is the universe's work. And here's the part you may have never heard before. When you practice this technique with consistency, you'll start to notice small changes within a few days. Different people will cross your path, unexpected opportunities will arise, solutions will appear out of nowhere. At first, they might seem like coincidences, but the more you practice, the more you realize that nothing is random. Everything is a response. The universe is screaming yes to what you have decreed. And I want to be very clear, this technique isn't just about attracting external things. It's about transforming yourself internally until your new vibration makes the world bend to you. Because ultimately, the universe doesn't change. You do. And when you change, your reality has no choice but to reorganize itself around you. But perhaps you're wondering, what if I don't believe enough? What if my mind keeps doubting? Herein lies the beauty of this practice. You don't need to start with complete belief. You just need to start practicing, because repetition builds conviction. Each time you plant the decree, your subconscious accepts it a little more, and there comes a point where faith is no longer an effort. It becomes natural. You simply know without having to force it. It is at this point that miracles happen. It is at this point that health begins to flourish, money finds its way to you, and harmonious relationships emerge. Because you have become a living antenna, emitting only one signal, the signal of yes. And when the universe hears that signal without interference, it responds immediately. Now, I want you to picture yourself 7 days from now. Just 7 days of applying this technique every night before sleep and every morning upon waking. Imagine yourself noticing clear signs that something is shifting. You wake up feeling lighter, more confident, and you start to see that your reality is molding itself to your will. On the 8th day, you look around and realize this is no longer the same life. Something has changed irreversibly. And if you truly wish to accelerate this process, in the first pinned comment, I've left a special gift for you. It will help intensify this practice and open your consciousness even further in a simple yet extremely effective way. It's a compliment that will expand your ability to manifest, because the deeper you go on this path, the faster the results arrive. Remember, you are not here by accident. If these words have reached you, it is because your time has come. The universe is ready to say yes, but the question is, are you ready to receive? We've now reached what is perhaps the most crucial point of everything you've heard so far, because it's not enough to just know the technique or even to practice it mechanically. What will make the universe truly say yes is the way you surrender to it. And here is the final revelation, the most powerful of all. The key isn't in wishing or even just in visualizing, but in feeling as if you have already received. This is the part that changes everything. Because to wish is to place yourself in a position of lack. To visualize by itself can become just a mental exercise. But to feel is to live in advance the reality you want to create. It's to cheat time, to enter the state of possession before it manifests in the physical world. It's telling your subconscious, this is already mine, and the subconscious, ever obedient, records this command as law. This is why spiritual masters of all ages spoke of acting as if. It's not about pretending, it's about assuming. Because when you assume a truth within yourself, the external world has no choice but to reflect that truth back to you. You become the cause, and life becomes the effect. Joseph Murphy said that faith is nothing more than accepting as truth that which has not yet manifested in the visible world. And that is precisely what this technique does. It puts you in the vibrational state of your desire to the point where there is no room left for doubt. And where there is no doubt, there is power. Because doubt is the only shadow that can extinguish the flame of manifestation. I know it might seem impossible to feel something you cannot yet see, but that is exactly where the secret lies. Because when you feel it without seeing it, you are sending the universe the message that you already possess it. And since the subconscious doesn't distinguish between the real and the imagined, it acts as if it were true. Life begins to move, circumstances are rearranged, people are drawn to you, and paths open up. Everything aligns to match your experience with what you have decreed. Think of a stage actor. They step onto the stage and embody a character as if it were real. While the play is happening, they aren't faking it. They are living that emotion, and the audience believes it because they feel the truth vibrating from the actor. This is what you must do with your desires. Embody them as if they are already your reality. Live the experience internally until the entire universe is forced to bow to the role you have assumed. And here is a detail that could change everything for you. It's not enough to feel it once. It is repetition that impresses the subconscious mind. It's like watering the same seed every single day. You don't plant today and expect to harvest tomorrow without any care. You plant, you water, you protect, and you trust that the sprout will emerge. It is the same with this powerful spiritual technique. You plant it every day, watering it with emotion and certainty. And in due time, the harvest will come. Now I want you to imagine what your life would be like if, a few months from now, you could look back and realize that everything changed because you decided to apply this technique for 7 days. Just 7 days that became the beginning of an irreversible transformation. Imagine waking up in a new reality where what once seemed impossible has become a part of your daily life. This is the promise of the technique. If you feel it, surrender to it, and practice it, the universe will have no way to resist. It will say yes. But there is something even deeper. This technique is not just about acquiring things. It is about becoming someone different, someone who lives in harmony with the laws of the universe, someone who doesn't beg, fear, or doubt, but someone who declares, trusts, and receives. And when you reach that point, you realize that the true power was never outside of you. It has always been within. If you have made it this far, it was not by accident. It's because there is a force within you asking to be awakened, and now you hold in your hands the tool to activate that force. The next step is up to you. So, make a choice. You can continue to live as before, letting doubt and fear drive your life. Or you can decide today to take command, decree the reality you desire, and feel as if it is already yours. The choice is simple, but its impact is monumental. And remember, the more you practice, the faster the results will appear. If you wish to accelerate this process and dive even deeper, I have left a specially prepared gift for you in the first pinned comment. It will expand your understanding and give you tools to manifest with even greater clarity. If this has touched you in any way, do not ignore this call. Now, before we go, I want to ask you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This isn't just a gesture of support. It's a way for you to affirm to the universe that you are committed to your transformation. The more you connect with this type of content, the more your mind opens to receive, and the more your energy aligns with abundance. Because in the end, this isn't just about hearing a technique. It's about living a new life. And that new life begins now, the moment you decide to apply what you have learned. 7 days, just 7 days. And on the 8th, I promise you will no longer be the same person.